Welcome back into episode number 2. So we had a great first episode from turn 0 to 100. We're doing pretty good on faith, but we're not doing too good on science or culture. And that is going to come because we are about to start ramping things up. We've gone through the first phase, which is holy sites in most of the cities. But next phase is to start adding in theater squares, and you'll see our culture really start to jump. In the meantime, we still have a couple of turns left in this era. We're about 27 to 47 turns. Hopefully it's on the latter side, closer to 47, because the eras have been turning over pretty quick, and the longer we have here to grow, we're going to keep producing more and more settlers. Now, the big problem I have is I get myself zoned in. I worry about the next settler, and that's all I worry about. Settle. I have to be worried about everything else. One thing is Vietnam has sent more and more missionaries, and I didn't even notice that they've converted Moscow. So I need to worry about that a little bit more than I have been. St. Petersburg, our capital, has been renamed after Mozzarella, one of my viewers' cats. So that's really cool to see. The other thing is I haven't been keeping an eye on great people. And so I've got faith to burn for the most part. So I really want to keep an eye on these, especially things like Isidore, where I can get extra production towards wonders, because wonders are really going to help me propel through the game. Also, I want to be worried about things like great scientists and make sure I get as many of those as I can. So I would love to grab this great scientist for the Eureka's. Might not happen. I might not get all of them in this era. That's not super important. The really big guys I really want, like this engineer. So we'll get this engineer for 1,000 points. Honestly, it's not too hard to save up. But let's get to settling. That's the big name of the game here, is settle. We will get a settler. Well, actually, I can't remember how much they cost here now. I think they're around 300 faith now. Oh, wow, they're up to 650 faith. The next big change for us then is going to be the government, where we switch it up and get to our next stage, where we can get discounts on faith and theocracy. So when we get to the theocracy, we'll change our government, and you'll see the cost of the settlers will come down dramatically. Well, there, we killed one of the missionaries, and finally have Oya. Now, Oya does really kind of cool. She can heal adjacent enemies. So if you're going to war, she's really, really useful. For me right now, I'm more concerned about getting the relic. Yeah. So here you can see we're starting to really fill up all of our monuments. We've got tons and tons of more space. But here, early game is another thing that really concentrate on is I've been avoiding trading. Now you can see at the top I've got 263 diplomatic favor. Early in the game, other AIs don't tend to value their heroes, their great works or their relics as much as they will later in the game. So if I go here now, we'll see if I can trade it for some Diplo favor. And I've got a 260 to spare, but it should cost about 150. Yeah, so he will trade. So let me mess around with this and I'll show you how much it costs. So after going through here and doing the up and down one, actually if I go to 63 Diplo favor, he was willing to trade this for me. Now this is going to be big. It just adds culture, it adds faith, it adds tourism. And I want to try to keep as many of these as early as I can. If they're willing to trade them to me, that's their own fault. So I'm going to go through and make sure and see how many trades I can do. Here is trade number 2 with Jadwiga, and you can see she values hers way more than the last guy. She wants 136 for hers. I'm willing to pay anything. So I'm going to keep going through. But there's number 2 that we've traded for. No stealing of spies or nothing. Just grabbing it where we can. There, the last one is the Congo. And unfortunately, I've run out of Diplo favor. But he's willing to take a little bit of iron and all the gold I have. So, I mean, why not do it? Somewhere around here somewhere. Right around 400. There we go. 376 he'll take. So that gives me every relic right now that's on the board for great people. Now, the other thing I have to really worry about here, if you ever do a bunch of trades, especially, I don't know if it's just a bug here on the PlayStation side of things, but if I trade for more great works than I have spots for, it'll lock me out of the screen. So you will see that later on in the game probably. But now we're doing a lot better. We've got 24 culture and 20 faith and 5 science coming from relics right now. So we're just going to keep bumping them up and bumping them up. There, we've saved up 1,000 faith. So the one thing I should be settling, but I do want to stop in here and grab a Theodore. Nobody else is, well, that's not true. He would go here before I would ever get him, because I don't have any industrial zones yet, but let's grab him to be safe. I want to kind of get as many wonders as I can this game. So now I should just be straight making settlers for a while. So we got a Theodore, and there's a couple things we could build. I could backfill and build a couple of these wonders, like I'm getting this one in Katoka in 11. I'm getting the Colosseum in 7. I'm getting, I don't even remember what this is, in 10 turns. I could use him there. And you know what? Just for the sake of things, let's get the things that are very important. Let's get the Colosseum. Here for faith. Oh, excellent. Vietnam is settled in the middle here. But you can see they don't have the population to keep that faithful. So we might grab that city out of for nothing. And Spain is starting to settle into the middle here too. So we could throw a couple settlers up in this area if there's enough water or resources to settle on. I do want to get a harbor city, and we might throw a harbor into Satrov, just so they can start building things like the Halicarnassus. There are a couple of the wonders. But for now, let's get Moscow back on our side, and we're going to send an Inquisitor up north with our settlers. City number 11, and I've debated about where to put this settler. I thought about down here for fresh water. It would make a lot more sense than right here, but we can aqueduct to a mountain. So let's just plop it here. It kind of takes about a tundra space, and maybe there's going to be a resource in the future, like say uranium or something underneath these tiles. But all I really need in a lot of these cities is simply to get faith. All I need to do, I'll probably put a lava right here. Let's go see where the lava will go. Lava +7. Yeah, see down here in snow tiles, you don't get the adjacency. It's just tundra. So tundra has got this like broken texture. The ground kind of shows through the snow. That's tundra tiles. Down here in pure snow, there's no real benefit. So let's throw the, yeah, right there is fine. We got a writer, I believe. Yes, Rumi. So we'll grab him. The next great scientist, Eureka's again would be good. Great engineer, Imhotep. We'll get him too. Another 1,000 points. And then we'll grab all the wonders we can grab. Excellent. So we got Rumi. But there's no Rumi for Rumi to put his books. So we're going to stockpile as many of these great people as we can. You know what? Even if I don't use them, as soon as some of these theater districts go up, we'll start using them up. But probably by mid-game, there's going to be like 30 or 40 great people in this area that don't even have a space to use. Theodore on the Colosseum with 6 turns left to go. We do the great person effect. Bam! Colosseum. Yes. So this is going to help me really carry across, because the bigger and more cities I get, the less amenities I have spread across. And the Colosseum is really going to help keep my towns or cities happy, which increases their production. Here in Astrakhan, we just made the Colosseum in. The next thing I really want to focus on is getting the second wave of things is the theater squares in. I do need the Guardia, but we'll just buy that with faith. But the theater square, if you look, now I've got some, because I've got all these adjacencies with all these world wonders, I've got a +6s around. What I do want to concentrate on is trying to leave places with national parks I can build later on. So I want to kind of group things together as close as I can. But really, that +6 is really good. We've already up to 99 culture per turn, and it only took 4 turns. Here in the capital of Mozzarella, we're building Mont Saint Michel, but we're going to send Isidore over there to finish that. So let's switch off Mont Saint Michel and make a theater square. And oh, there happens to be a +6 here because there is 3 wonders in the city already. I should use a builder and dig that up first, but you know what? Let's worry about progress quicker than fast progress. Anansi is on the tobacco here finally. Let's double check and see what we are researching. I want to focus in on the top side of this tree. The culture side, I need to worry about wonders. Angkor Wat would be good. We're gonna get past here. We're looking for these buildings would be good. The Tele de Belém. But we're looking for national history. This is where we're going to be able to make national parks. So this is for archaeologists, but conservation is what we really want to focus. So if we click on conservation, we're 6 techs away. And we're just going to boost that way as quick as possible. The quicker we get there, the quicker we win. So if we use a Nazi now, it's going to boost us towards that. And we can backfill our culture tree in the meantime after we're done this. And we're also boosting the science tree. And the big thing for the science tree is it's a long ways away because I've only got 40 science per turn. I'm not trying to kid anybody. The big thing for me for the culture win in the science tree is way up on the top of the tree up towards computers. If I can get to computers, that like gives you an extra 25% across the world for your culture. I don't know how, like that's a long 16 techs. That's a long ways away. So instead, actually that's not bad. We can skip over a lot of things. Actually, Terracotta Army, I believe you need an armory or something to that effect and to be able to make it. Machu Picchu would be nice. I'm just looking at the wonders I could build. Kilwa. Let's first go to Kilwa. Yes, by pretty. Let's go get Kilwa. So in our capital of Mozzarella, we'll switch back to Mont Michel for a second. We will use Isildur, and boom, another one done. And then we'll go back into Mozzarella and change change the production back to the theater square. One thing I've noticed too is some of my city-states have been destroyed or taken over, so I'm gonna have to come back and liberate some of these city-states the deeper into the game we get. Come back. Candy would have been really good as I explored the map, but it is what it is. And there's the Kotoko Inn. This is awesome. 20% faith in the city grants 4 warrior monks. Not that good. But what I can do with those monks is send them to be garrisoned units in a bunch of cities. And when I get the slot in my government, that will give me amenities for having units. So that's just basically 4 free units. Now that we've understand what the Kilwa is, let's go try to make the Kilwa. There's the Mont Saint Michel. So any apostles I make in the future has the murder ability, which means when they die, they create a relic. So a bit deeper into the game, once we get past the settler phase, I can just start spamming apostles to go donate them to other religions. So a couple of wonders that I need now are kind of based upon me having a harbor. Do I have a city yet? Next turn, we'll see if they can build. I'll use Hercules actually to make a harbor here. I need a bunch of space around it, so maybe the harbor is going to go up on that side. We can switch some tiles around. I can actually make a city that has a Petra in it while in tundra. So that's going to be kind of fun. If the Petra's still there, we'll try to settle that. We have another great person, another writer. The writers are coming hot and heavy. I'm not spending any points on them at all. And just casually, I've rolled around another golden age, and we're still, 20 to 30 turns away from the end of the era. I have Imhotep here, and currently I'm not actually making a wonder. And again, we're going to try to send him up here. So let's just kind of sleep Imhotep here for a little bit and see what comes of it. Warrior monks have gone around to all the cities. They can kind of chill. We've got another writer, and we have to kind of wait for amphitheaters to kind of come into existence. And I think here in Mozzarella is when the next one is going to be available. So we'll send him over here to get into that one. And we'll see how far away the next city is. Oh, there's another Anansi, and we're still fighting towards nationalism and national parks and computers. Okay, I just got the announcement that the era is going to end in 10 turns. That's not good. That's actually like the quickest it could have changed. It's aggravating. I was really hoping to settle a lot more. It is what it is. I mean, you can't change the eras. So, I mean, what do you do, right? Another artist. Another more great people. I'm not concerned about the era score. It's the fact of how long these eras are lasting. So, Anansi, I need to recall him actually before the end of the era. So, and within 10 turns, I need to use him up. How long to get to here? 7 turns. Interesting. Great. Right. These guys aren't ready yet. The mozzarella is going to be the first one where I can put him in this amphitheater here. So yeah, like the settlers you see here might be the end of it. That's unfortunate. We'll have to like make a production city to actually make builders. Huh. So, yes, fun times. City number 12. We build it here on this lake. We go to this city and say, not this builder, but we go to the city and say, hey, city, can we make a harbor per se? And hey, Hercules, next turn, let's make that harbor, because then I can send a Theodore, which is over here somewhere in the Great People pile. Emetep. We'll send Emetep over here and we'll make a couple of wonders next turn. Another World Congress. Select a resolution. Choosing player generates more grievances. I don't really care about that. Again, I'm not going for a Diplo, so let's go Congo. Units of chosen promotion class gain. Combat sure, ranged I think usually goes through. There. Yeah, the first couple of ones never really make a huge difference to your gameplay unless you're like in the middle of a war and you can get like units super quick. If I could get units by faith super quick, stuff like that. So 9 turns to the era goes, and we get melee, and okay, I didn't win either of those points. That's not a big deal. Up here, our first settler to try to get to the new world. I'm going to settle this volcano. We're pretty close to it. If I go on the iron, maybe? Yeah, let's go on the iron. I would settle that water. I'm pretty close to these guys over here. Let's keep on the iron. I'll settle on within the volcano for the era score for the next era. Hercules in our newest city in Krasovyarsky. I don't know. We make the harbor. And we go into the city. What can we make here now? Lighthouse, yes. But can we make the Malzi? Okay, so what the great thing about this is great engineers have an additional charge. So if I can make this, let's say there, sure. And use a charge of Emotep to make it. Now Emotep gets that charge back and I get a free wonder. And now every engineer I get in the future has free points. Very good, very good, very good. And I'm just going to fill this whole lake with 4 or 3 more wonders. Now this should be a fun turn. This is the first settler that we sent north with 30 turns left before the era goes, and here we go. We're going to land on this floodplain. And the next turn we're going to make, see, we have a city here to make on this volcano. Yeah, sure. City number 14? He asked with a question mark. And this city should actually grow pretty quick as long as the volcano doesn't eat him too much. So now we can... Well, unfortunately, there is only 5 turns left to go in this era. Very unfortunate, because we are just settling our first city up here in the north. And the idea was I was going to try to get Magnuson up here and start making a bunch of settlers, but there just isn't enough airtime. Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. However, watch this. Turn 1, we have a religion. Bam. We can send Hercules up. Herc is way down here somewhere. Yes. So we'll send Imhotep up here. Back and forth and back and forth. Of course, I have to move the builder out of the way. You just stay there for a second, dude. Anyway, we'll send Imhotep. Oh, stop it! Stop it! We will grab Imhotep again from this bottom of the map. Send him up to the top of the map. So now the big question in this new city is, what wonders do we want to make? So Kilwa is something we can make in another city, but Petra or Pyramids? Now Pyramids is going to give me an extra builder. Petra would give me better production on desert tiles, but I think I just settled that city a little bit too far away. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so let's do Pyramids instead. So we have to buy that tile. We need 170 gold. So in a couple more turns, actually. So yeah, we didn't need to do that before the era ends anyways. But we will make the pyramids right there with Imhotep. So in the city, we just follow the same procedures as before. We find some kind of lava. +6s, +7s. It doesn't matter. I don't want to waste the gold because I need to buy that tile there. So let's just take the 6 there. We'll take Hercules, put him there, and make the lava. Another great person. We have a great merchant. Extra trade route. That's awesome. Trade routes go to city-states now, grant you 2 faith. Oh, if we had some more, that'd be great. So now that we make new cities, we can actually put a trade route to it to increase production. Very good. We have 3,000 faith, and the last thing we need to do before the era rolls over is actually recall Anansi, because Anansi is in this era. I can't even use him yet. I need a hub, a commercial hub. I can't even use this guy yet. That's so crazy. So if we go here, I can recall Anansi. Excellent. And I think Anansi this time is going to head over here towards Spain, because Spain I don't have an alliance with, and I can start eating all his resources. City number 15, I think. I'm just going to leave him here just outside of the zone of control of Lisbon there, just so I don't have any problems with loyalty. I could probably go a little bit deeper, but I don't have a lot of growth in my cities. Like if I get population 7, that's probably as high as I'm going to get for most of these cities living in the tundra. Unless I went for Feed the World, but I didn't. We went with production instead. We'll get that 1 tile. But yeah, we'll keep settling. Here in the new city, I can go into production now finally and select pyramids. Buy that tile. Use my charge of Imhotep, and I still have 1 left on next. Oh, I have to switch production queue. Let's go to pyramids and go to pyramids. Go to Imhotep and make. Now I could probably wait till next era, but I don't need to worry about that. Now all my builders have an extra charge on top of everything else. That's so good here. The rest of my faith is going to be used to buy builders in virtually every city, so that when I get to the point where I'm getting national parks, I've got all these builder charges. This one city is kind of outside of tundra, and I'm just using the fact that these tiles aren't on tundra, and I can destroy them after if I really want the space. But I'm just going to make this city really quickly good. This builder honestly doesn't need to do a whole lot. we'll just kind of chill with these builders. Now in mozzarella, we're running out of things to do. I need population to grow, and really, there's not much I can do until then. I don't need an aqueduct, although an aqueduct would give me a couple of boosts down the tech tree that I don't really need to worry about. But really, we just need to get stuff done before the end of the era. Let's do... I mean, I don't have any... That's so funny. I don't have any real units at all in this yet. But, yeah. Holy State Prayer is in my capital. You know what? There's this great admiral here, Zheng He, that gives you an extra free trade route. Like, it's only 1,000 faith. Why not grab it? It's an extra era score I don't need, but trade routes I love. Well, one more turn before the era changes. I've gone through and looked at the great people. I'm going to burn a settler in a bad town, but it gets me more settles. And we're just gonna buy builders. Now the coolest thing though is now that we have the pyramids and we've got Liang in the city, these builders are giving me, I believe, 7 charges. Yeah, 7 charge builders. So there's a bunch of builders here going to be lying around for whenever we get to build national parks. But there's no sense in keeping any of this faith. I'm just going to burn it in whatever place I can make a builder. And we'll go to next turn and see what the next era is going to do for us. And here is, surprise, surprise, the Golden Age. I was 40 points over or thereabouts. Looks like about 40 points to the next era. But before I even have a chance, there's 1 era score. Casa, okay, we can get a bunch of things, but I'm really concentrated on what we're going to get here for dedications. We have monumentality. We can go with a 3rd monumentality, guys. Oh my goodness. That's not always here. I was thinking I was going to have to go Hicks and Draconas, which would give me a starting 3 population. But we don't have to stop what we're doing. We can just keep making build. Oh wow, that's crazy. I had no idea. That's awesome. Of course we're doing monumentality. What? I'm gonna get to 50 cities. All the, like, here looks bad. Oh, look, he's settled right there. There's no space. I can do a whole string of cities right across the top of the map. This is crazy. Okay, well, let me think about this again. The big question is right now then, is are we settling east or are we settling the north? The east, we have 3 more settlers going this way anyways. So once these settlers get out to about this point, we'll appoint Magnus there. But in the meantime, let's appoint Magnus up north. And here's the problem. There's a big bug on the console version, is you can only scroll so far and then you lose what city you're looking at. So I want to go to here, or go to here. So you have to kind of, like, it's very hard. So let me find the right city and then we will assign Magnus there. City number 16 maybe? Sure. Great writers that have been sitting around we can start to use. Builders can kind of just chill. I was going to give them a little bit more food out here in the grassed area. So these ones, I don't plan on building national parks out this way, so we can improve these grass tiles. Here, I was more interested in actually chopping that out, but we could chop out the lava actually, because we're building the lava by hand. So let's chop that out a little bit. Next, yeah, we can do this here. Take a bunch of turns off of that. And this guy can kind of chill and just defend the faith. Builders everywhere, doing nothing, just kind of chilling out, waiting. I guess I didn't really need to burn them all. But at least they're going to be sitting around here for when we do need them. New city, of course, we do the same thing we've always done. We may go to Lavra, we find a spot that has a possible 6 or 7 on it. 8 would be nice. Add a Lavra. We're gonna have to build those by hand because we're waiting for her. Oh, but we're not waiting for Hercules, are we? Hercules, I think, was in this city. Hercules. Now, it would be nice to have our next government, so I could actually buy Hercules for cheaper. But I mean, it's only 1,000. We're waiting for Magnus in 4 turns, and we'll start making settlers again up here in the north. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. She's actually starting to come with apostles now. They don't matter, man. Like, she could send 1,000 apostles. It doesn't matter. All I need to do is, like, she can't conquer my cities. All I need to do is buy another Inquisitor before I lose my faith. And then even if the city gets converted, I could just convert it back with 1 charge. I'm not even worried about having apostles. Now, it's going to come here pretty soon. Apostles are going to be cheaper than my Inquisitors. 210 versus 3. Yeah. So we'll wait until the government change before we worry about anything like that. We're very quickly starting to use up all of our great people, actually. And I haven't taken a look at the tourism here either, so we could probably be winning here pretty quick now that we're getting more and more art museums. Let's take a quick look at the readout here, actually. We're up to 15, but Congo is actually starting to gain his own tourism. Interesting. So we're going to have some competition. Good. I didn't want it to be too easy. I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty sure I've lost track. I think it's city number 16, maybe? Sure. And within a wonder. 3 tile impassable natural wonder provides 1 faith to adjacent tiles. Not that I didn't already have faith per tile. And religious units who move past Mount Everest ignore hill tiles for the rest of the game. Maybe not super useful for me, but again, error score is error score. Here in Moscow, we have made an aqueduct simply so I can make the Angkor Wat. It doesn't matter where. 15 turns? I don't feel like I'm going to wait 15 turns. How about we just make it? It's kind of fun. We're just kind of... So I made the actual Inquisitors, and those apostles have decided to turn around and get out of my face. There is our first campus, actually, of all things. I just haven't been focused on it. There is a city down here somewhere that I was building. I was building a great person, or a hero, and the hero got taken. Oh, here in Novgorod. So I built a campus instead with the abandoned production. So now I have 1 campus. So now if we actually went in here and looked at the great people, I could start buying great scientists and actually having a place to put them. Triggers Eurekas for chemistry and 1 random technology from the Industria. That would be good to have. I'm not super concerned about that 1 guy. What do we have for engineers here? Towards wonder construction. Look at that. We have another Filippo. So we will get him probably next turn. Yeah, let's save up and get him.